Hello everyone, we are on my Livewire charts and I just wanted to do a quick review. Start with the daily chart. You can see that we tagged the daily expected high and immediately reversed here. This is a area of interest. You can always see where we're going for the day by the daily expected high and low. We are clearly going to hit the daily expected low today. These levels in the Livewire tools will tell you what the overall direction is going to be for the day. Generally, whatever level we're closer to is we are going to tag that level. Here on my 30-minute chart, you can see the IB range for the week developing. This is the high and the low of Monday and Tuesday's price action that sets the IB range for the week. This blue area is an opening session gap. That is the RTH gap, the New York Open. We are clearly filling that gap. And you can see our pivot point targets are here. This is how I personally set my charts up for Livewire tools. Now here you can see my volume profile chart. This is set to a 10-minute candle on NQ. I always do my analysis on NQ, even when I'm trading on MES. But you can see the prior day value area highlighted here. We are clearly doing a rotation of that. I've also got the Livewire Reversal Indicators. This is a free tool. Both of these tools are free on the Livewire suite. You can download them from LiveWireIndicators.com. The volume profile tool tells you what the volume is by the price. So all these little nodes you see sticking out here are telling you how much volume of contracts are traded at every given price. So you can kind of see where there's an interest. You can also see where there's gaps, where there's not a lot of interest. So the high volume nodes tell you that is fair value. The contracts are being traded at what traders consider a fair price. And when you see the gaps, it means they don't think that's a fair price. We tend to just glide right through them to the next fair value area. You can see that happening here. This also tells you what the current day range is. And you can see that we kind of consolidated at the point of control for today. And that means that is the price where the most contracts have traded today in the session so far. The little U-turn arrows are reversal bars. I like to use these to catch tops and bottoms. They work really well. How I recommend you use these are, use the WADA tool. This is the Livewire WADA tool. I've changed the colors to be all blue here. I don't think that I need, for the purposes I'm using this, I don't need to see them based on red or green volume. I'm just looking to see if we're above the explosion line. When I get a reversal bar that is above the explosion line, that is a good reversal bar to me. You can see we got one here, stopped out here, but you see this reversal bar here. We are not above the white line. We are not above the explosion level, so we don't enter that one. Definitely got a scalp. Here is another one. This was a good one as well. You got the scalp. I like to enter these on the break of the reversal bar. After it closes, I like to take a scalp and hold a runner. Here is another one. This is a good entry. We are above the explosion line, but we didn't trigger the entry because we didn't break the high of the green bar. And that has just been happening as we dump down here. But you can see based on this, we're clearly going down. We have a target. We have a gap fill. We have a pivot point. We have an expected level on the charts. We know we're going down. And we just need to come over here to our Renko chart, and we got a scalp entry here, a scalp entry here, a scalp entry here, a scalp entry here. Now, I don't have these swing entries turned on my chart, but you could easily add those. If you go to the Livewire Trend Tracker tool, you just want to scroll down to show the VWAP and enable the swing signals. And you can see here we did get a swing signal. And I don't personally keep these on my chart. I like to keep it a little cleaner, but that is a nice swing signal for you. And if you take your little ruler out, if you entered one contract on NQ, you could be running that down to this pivot here, which is where we're clearly going. That is $3,170 in profit on just one NQ contract. Now, if you entered that one here, your stop would be here, and that is an $845 stop. That is awfully big. I recommend you do that on micros. 3 to 4 micros is going to be a reasonable stop. $200 or less. You can run that all the way down here for a nice profit for the day. Now, you must have the VWAP turned on to get those reversal signals. Even if you select show those signals, it's not going to show unless you actually turn that on. I keep the VWAP off so it doesn't work on my charts. And now I'm going to add the MAC Duo. For me, for my settings, I just like to show the alignment arrows. I don't like the alerts on my chart, but if we add those on, and there you go. We got all these entries starting from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, I don't personally like to enter more than 3 in a row. You know, 3 pushes and generally we'll get a 2-leg pullback. So I don't really like to do that, especially when we're coming down. It looks like we're going to start that pullback now, possibly. But I also see here that we haven't filled the gap yet. I look for a bar close fill, not a wick. So we are still going down. I suspect at least to break the low here at 610 and then possibly break that pivot here as we head on back down to the 20 EMA on the daily chart, probably down to the weekly expected low. So that is kind of the direction I see for the next couple of days at least. I wanted to share this and let you guys know how I'm using these tools. I like to personally enter off a reversal bar. I like to get in with a couple of micros. Once this bar closes, if it's a reversal bar, I'm entering 2 ticks above the close. And I'm going to take a scalp and try to catch that runner. And you can see here, this was a pretty big one. We did get stopped here, but if you could look back, you can find them. Here's a good one. Here is a good reversal bar entry. We are above the WADA explosion line, and we are going to enter on the break here. I like to go 1 or 2 ticks down, make sure I'm not getting stopped out on a trap. And this was a huge run. You want to put your stop at the pivot point. On NQ with 1 contract, it's $900. And our profit target here is going to be, you know, let's say we took it down all the way, about $3,000. So if you're entering this with a wide stop, your daily target's $500, $600. You hit your target, you can go, or you can just trail the bars as they close. And you would have gotten stopped out right here for $1,600. So that is a 2 times risk to reward, good risk to reward here. Although I don't recommend $900 stops on prop accounts. I like to stay in the micros, you know, a couple of micros, 3 to 5 max, and you're good to go. So I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, just leave them in the chat. Definitely reach out on the Discord. The Livewire Discord is free to join. Love to see you guys in there. If you have any questions about these tools, happy to answer them. All right, guys. Bye. Have a great day.